Close enough. So Robert Pattinson is our new Batman. Maybe. There's word that he's really just the top choice, and it's really down to him and Nicholas Hoult for the title role, but come on. At this point, I think it's fairly safe to say that Pattinson is Batman. Variety broke the story last week, but this really isn't that big of a surprise. I mean, this was rumored for a couple of months now. Back when I did my video saying that Armie Hammer should be the new Batman, he was listed as one of the contenders. And yet when the article did come out last week saying that our Pats is now our Bats, fans did, of course, naturally what they do best. Freak the f*** out.
Don't mind if I do!
Now, I'm not gonna lie, Robert Pattinson is an out of left field choice to play Batman. He doesn't fit the traditional mold of what we've been conditioned to think of as Bruce Wayne Batman. He has light brown hair, he's young, he's 6'1", but has a smaller frame than previous actors. He doesn't really have a lot of action movies in his repertoire. And of course, he was in the Twilight movies. We'll come back to those in a minute. So where do I stand on all of this? Well, honestly, I think he'll be fine. I don't know if he'll be as good as Christian Bale or Michael Keaton, but he should definitely be better than Val Kilmer and George Clooney, at the very least. In terms of his physical appearance, I mean, that should really be a non-issue. He's going to be wearing a costume for more than half the movie. His face is going to be covered up with a cowl, so his hair and facial features aren't that big of a deal. He's got a good chin, so that'll be fine. Regarding his build, he does have muscle tone, he just doesn't have like big biceps and pecs like a Rob Liefeld drawing. Besides, if this movie is going to be about Batman in his early days, then they could use Robert Pattinson's size to their advantage as a way of showing Batman as a younger man. And if they need him to bulk up, then I'm sure he'll do it. I mean, Chris Pratt did it. With regards to his action movie credentials, no, Robert Pattinson has not starred in what I would consider a traditional action movie. But he has been in films where he's had to run a lot, fight a person or two, and even shoot a guy. So I feel like he can take what he's learned from those little moments and apply them to the bigger scale that a Batman movie would need. Unless, of course, a stunt person just does everything for him, which could very well wind up happening. I mean, not everybody is Tom Cruise. But then again, he did have action scenes in Twilight. Sorry, we're not there yet. So from an overall physical standpoint, from an action hero standpoint, those really seem to be non-factors to me. Those can be improved upon or addressed where necessary during filming. Now, in terms of his actual acting, I haven't seen every Robert Pattinson film under the sun, but in research for this video, I did do a deep dive into his filmography on YouTube and seen a lot of clips from a lot of his post-Twilight films, and man, the guy's got chops. Now, every nerd website right now is pretty much telling everybody to go out and see Good Time, a 2017 crime drama starring Robert Pattinson as a bank robber looking to get his brother out of prison. And yeah, judging from the trailers and whatnot, it looks pretty good. Pattinson looks like he belongs in that world of the seedy underground. He doesn't look or act like a teen heartthrob. He doesn't come across as some punk kid. He looks like somebody who would actually be a criminal. I'm definitely excited to check this movie out. It's on Amazon Prime, so I've added it to my watch list, and I think you should too. But if you ask me, I think you should watch The Rover first, because this is a much bigger showcase for Pattinson's abilities as an actor, in my opinion. This film is a post-apocalyptic journey through the Australian outback. Pattinson plays a car thief whose brother leaves him behind after a job gone awry. He's forced to travel with Guy Pearce, the owner of the car who was stolen, to get it back, and along the way they form a strange bond through their connection to the brother and the car. This film is on Netflix and it is worth every second. Pattinson is just straight up incredible in this movie. He's playing a very inept character, but he injects him with a lot of sympathy. And between him and Guy Pearce, the two of them just command the screen in a way that doesn't overshadow each other. And The Rover actually did alleviate a big concern I had with regards to casting Robert Pattinson as Batman. His voice. I'm very picky when it comes to how I think Batman should sound. I don't expect Kevin Conroy all the time, but I think somebody who's playing Batman needs to have a voice that's commanding, authoritative, and doesn't forget to emote. Bruce Greenwood, Michael Keaton, Roger Craig Smith, those are top tier Batman voices. Jason O'Mara, Rita Romano, Peter Weller, not so much. Robert Pattinson doesn't have the deepest voice in the world, but his character in The Rover sounds nothing like him in real life. If he's able to do that for some punk kid in the desert, I think he has what it takes to voice the world's greatest detective.
I believe in God, and I know Henry believes in God. There's no harm Henry wants to see me come to. And I believe in that.
But Will, I hear you ask, he was in 5 Twilight movies, and those movies are awful. Yes, he was in the Twilight movies, and yes, they're not exactly good. But honestly, who f***ing cares? Seriously, the last Twilight film was 7 years ago. Since then, he's completely reinvented himself as an indie films darling starring in lower budget films that really showcase his acting abilities. And to be fair, nobody's good in Twilight. Kristen Stewart, she's great in Adventureland, she's great in The Runaways, not good in Twilight. Anna Kendrick, America's sweetheart, great in everything she's in. Except Twilight. She's Bella's stupid friend in that. And plus, we've been here before. He's not the only Batman actor who has previously starred in very non-Batman films. Of course, by now we all know the story about how fans were very mad back in 1989 because Michael Keaton was cast to play Batman. And Michael Keaton, of course, was originally Mr. Mom, about as far away from Batman as you could get.
I think these are on special.
Doesn't matter. Sorry, real.
Let me check. These Kotex Maxi Pads on special?
Never mind, sorry, forget it.
But again, he's not the only one. Ben Affleck has been in a litany of bad movies, and he turned in a really good Batman performance the first time, and then afterwards he was clearly done with the movie and wanted to be on with his life.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
And don't forget, Christian Bale was in Newsies. That's a musical about newspaper delivery boys. And he was a fantastic Batman.
Nothing with all the muckety mucks, I'm blowing my dough and going deluxe.
Also, and this may come as a shock to you, but Twilight's not that bad. I know. I've seen them all. These are my wife's. They're not masterpieces by any stretch of the imagination. They're about on par with the Star Wars prequels in terms of quality, but they are nowhere near the blithe on humanity that everybody made them out to be back in the day. If anything, Twilight kind of acts like Pop Culture 101 for teenage girls. It's something to get them interested into the idea of fantastic worlds with weird concepts and characters before they're ready to move on and graduate to other, better things. Like Batman. And besides, if you really do hate Twilight all that much, I guarantee you don't hate it nearly as much as Robert Pattinson does. The dude is merciless with his opinion towards those movies. Seriously, click here, check it out. Look, I know that being a fan means on some level you're gonna be protective of the media that you love. I totally get that. And in a perfect world, yes, they would cast somebody to be Batman who's 6'2", 212 pounds of pure muscle with a great, deep, commanding voice, who has black hair and blue eyes, and who's proficient enough in some form of martial arts. Also, ideally, he would be signed to a 3-picture deal where the first movie is based on Dark Victory, the second on The Court of Owls, and the third based on that episode Old Wounds from The New Adventures of Batman. Yeah, I've given this a lot of thought, but that's not the world we live in. I'm not making a Batman movie. Matt Reeves, who has done great movies and TV, and also Cloverfield, is the one who's making the Batman movie. And it's a movie that I'm pretty sure will be just as good as his previous work. So if he's saying that Robert Pattinson is his choice for Batman, then you know what? I'm okay with that. And I think if you give some of Robert Pattinson's non-Twilight films a chance, you will be too. Of course, if the movie comes out and he's then, yeah, I'll say he's but at least I will have given him a chance. I can sleep easy knowing that I at least gave him a chance. But better not screw it up. Also, Ashley Greene was in Twilight, and she was also the voice of Oracle in Arkham Knight. So there is precedent for a Twilight actor appearing in the Batman universe. And Ashley Greene's character in Twilight was a lot shittier than Edward Cullen. So if that gets a pass, Robert Pattinson definitely gets a pass. But what do you think? Are you on board with the idea of Robert Pattinson being the new Batman? Would you have preferred somebody else? Did you sign the petition to have him removed from the role? I hope you didn't. Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. Of course, by the time this video goes out, Nicholas Hoult could ultimately be cast as Batman, making this whole thing completely worthless. And you know what? He'd be okay too, but honestly, between the two, I think I'd go with Pattinson over Nicholas Hoult. I will have Amazon affiliate links in the description to some non-Twilight Robert Pattinson films, along with some young Batman comics to get you in the mood for a young Batman story. And don't forget that we have new videos here every Tuesday and Wednesday, with Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern being Wulff Den Live. So subscribe to see all of that. Like this video and share it with a friend who's freaking out at the idea that a sparkling vampire is the new Dark Knight. Show them this video to let them know it's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.